Pasha Pyro, YNet7. Thank you for tuning the replay. So, I'm kind of building off of one video off another, and you know what? I made an error, and on the last video, dealing with consciousness, and then I tried to do it over again, and it came out on Facebook, but it didn't come out on YouTube. It's like a 60-40 split. My fault. Technology error. You know, it's a lot of that going on right now. But I was contemplating making the video again a third time for the YouTube, and I was just like, you know what? It ain't supposed to go down like that. I got another video to make. So catch the one on consciousness, the new minority, or conscious, the new minority. You gotta go to the YNet7 Facebook page. We just gonna leave it at that. So today, right, what we gonna build on, it's loosely tied to this wordplay. So those that's been following the YNet7 channel, Pasha Pyro on the net, kind of know that I'm really into etymology. So I just like looking up words. You know, when I make music, that's part of why my music may sound a little different, because I'm using a different, I'm using a truer frequency of the word than maybe what some people may be accustomed to. You know what I mean? So it's basically, by using the word as what it really means, it's kind of like I'm using my own slang to everybody else. That's the irony. So what we're gonna talk about today, right? It's gonna really showcase some wordplay, because I just like to have questions, right? So we're gonna call this one employees question mark included. Does registration lead to confiscation? Wordplays. All right. So I was looking at some things, and you know, when you read it, it's just one word after another, and I started to want to understand. I just got questions. Maybe you guys can help me out here, you know? So the word employ means devote to, apply, make use of, right? But I was looking at some things about the US, and so I got to this section here and I got confused. And this has been the codes, right? So it says the United States consents to the taxation of pay or compensation for personal service as an officer or employee of the United States, a territory or possession or political subdivision thereof. And see, I see these people talking about, I mean, I don't know what the rest of it says, but we'll look at that. I'll stop here, and I got to political subdivision, and I remember, you know, I got this theory, right? I got this theory, and it's just a theory for those that want to be like critiquing stuff. I'll just label it as a theory. So I look at words, and I said to myself, you know, when you register your car, the state can tow your car and put a boot on it, right? So I was kind of wondering what the word register was all about. And it says here that it's matters recorded. See, it's an alteration of late Latin regista, however you say that, which was list. And what it means is matters recorded. Now, when I thought about it, I said, let me go look up what matters. Remember we did the video on authority? It was the book or quote that satisfies the question, basically, right? So I looked up what matters, and it said that matter was a substance, a concern, or a subject as of discussion. So, see, when you registered your car, they left out the part, the subject and the substance that you may have been concerned of or maybe needed to discuss if you wanted them to have the right to come pick up your car, hold it for ransom, and send you to, until you make payment. You might have wanted to discuss the subject if I knew that registering my car, if I knew to discuss my concern for the substance of the subject, that they may actually put like a boot on your car. And when you think about it, if someone else, if your neighbor comes and picks up your car and takes it across town, it's like GTA, right? Am I looking at this right? I just got questions. So, if your neighbor came and put a metal rods through your wheel so you couldn't drive it or travel in it, I don't think that would just be that would be like a crime or something, right? So if you register your car, there are matters recorded, which are substance or concern or subjects of discussion that I don't think I knew about when I registered my car. I don't know. I might gotta look into that. So when I was reading this, right, I just like words. I'm an artist. I want to be a wordsmith if I'm gonna be artistic with my words. So it's kind of just something I do in the back office of the music life. Is study my craft, which is based around words. So when I was reading this, it said the United States consents to taxation of pay or compensation for personal service as an officer or employee of the United States, a territory or possession or political subdivision thereof, the government of District Columbia, etc., etc., etc. And I said to myself, because you register your car and this type of stuff happens or may happen if you haven't clarified via the discussion, subject, or substance certain things. Excuse me. So, but when it said political subdivision, I actually thought about when they say registered to vote. And I was like, if I register my car and they can come snatch my car up because there was, what's the word? Because there was matters recorded that I don't think I got to discuss the subject, substance, or express my concern for. What does it mean when you register to vote? Like if they can snatch the car up, what are you registering to vote? I just got questions. So I was looking at that. And, I was like, damn, what's the meaning of register to vote? Because that must be a political subdivision. So then I see how they got states highlighted, right? Because people be laughing at me when I be like, yo, I'm an American. I mean, some people get it in their own way. They even if they don't get it, they get it in their own way. So I was like, well, what's a state? Really? And when you get into the definitions from themselves, it says the term state includes any territory or possession of the United States. And I was wondering why it don't say United States of America. It just says United States all the time. So if a state is the term state includes, but then I was like, yo, this sounds like it sounds, you know what? I mean, when I was in third grade, I was studying Greek mythology and analogies. So I've been studying analogies since third grade. And I'm feeling like this is one of those puzzles that I used to get when we started special class in the gifted program. But I'm looking at this again. So the term state includes any territory or possession of the United States. So wait. Then I go back to register in my mind. And I'm like, wait, shit. if you register the car. Wait, what's the title today? Employees included. Does registration lead to confiscation? So if you register the car, they can come get the car. If you register your business, what matters were recorded then that was the subject of concern, or the substance was a subject of concern that you might want to have a discussion of. But more importantly, if you register to vote, what are you registering that they could confiscate? Because the gun people joke about it. Registration leads to confiscation. It's not really a joke, but they trying to, like, that's like, you know, it's one of those quotes you remember. So if registration leads to confiscation and you register, I register myself to vote, what am I registering? So employ means to devote to. Or apply. And then that's what employee and employment comes from. So matters recorded. The substance of a subject of concern as of discussion. Apply and devote to. The term state includes any territory or possession in the United States. So what does the word, I'm feeling like the word include might mean something. But here go confiscation. See? Confiscation means past participle of seize for the public treasury. Together, public treasury. Con fiscus. Together is con fiscus. Public treasury. Together, public treasury. So registration is matters recorded leads to together for public treasury. This is pretty cool. So, but what does the word include mean? Include means to conceal or hide. I didn't know. Did you know that? I think many people don't know when they say include, it actually originally means to conceal or hide. So wait a minute. The term state includes any territory or possession of the United States. So if I sub out the word include with what include means, which is to conceal or to hide, and reread the sentence, the term state conceals or hides any territory or possession of the United States. That sounds like it's saying something. Let me know what you think it's saying in the comments. The term state includes, or the term state conceals or hides any territory or possession of the United States. So why would the term state need to conceal or hide any territory or possession of the United States? Well, now I need to know that. So what is a U.S. territory? U.S. territories are islands. Okay, I don't know if these words mean the same thing to you. I can't say that they do, but this sentence starts off saying that the U.S. territories are islands. Under the jurisdiction of the United States, which are not states of the United States. If this ain't a riddle, this is a riddle. This gotta be a joke. Wait, let me see if I'm reading this right. The U.S. territories are islands under the jurisdiction of the United States, which are not states of the United States. Okay. So, U.S. territories are islands, right? Because an island, ain't this what the United States of America is? True or false? Because it's a continent. This ain't an island. So, if I go back to this, it says, and this is from the IRS.gov, because somebody gonna try to say Pasha don't know what he talking about, and I'm saying see, that's the difference between me and a lot of people. I am not your authority. Go back and catch the last video or the one before that one that tells you the authority is the book or quote that settles the question. But this here riddle, this a riddle. I feel like this a riddle. So U.S. territories are islands, and islands don't look like this the last time I checked. But hold on, let's go back to it. U.S. territories are islands under the jurisdiction of the United States. So let's stop there, because it says the United States, which are not states of the United States. And then down in the bottom here, it talks about, it's just saying persons employed in a U.S. possession / territory, but U.S. territories are islands under the jurisdiction of the United States, which are not states of the United States. And then it goes on to say there's two kinds, basically. Those that have their own governments and their own tax systems. And it says like Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Guam, and then American Samoa. And then, if you read this, it'll tell you that the other kind is ones that don't have their own government and tax system, and it lists some more islands. So the U.S. territories are islands under the jurisdiction of the United States, which are not states of the United States. So is that why it says the term state conceals or hides any territory or possession of the United States? Wait, so if the islands are the only territories, then what are the possessions? Register is matters recorded whose substance or subject may cause concern and need to be discussed. And then you devote it to, or you apply. So if you register to vote, do you become a possession of the United States, which are islands under the jurisdiction of the United States, which are not states of the United States? Is that what this means? So, I mean, with everything that's going on in the country right now, do you mean to tell me that it doesn't matter if you're black or white, Michael Jackson? Because you may all be a possession of the United States, which are islands under the jurisdiction of the United States, which are not states of the United States. So, who possesses you? This is interesting, complicated NASA science shit here. So if you vote and you register to vote, you become the possession of something far away. And then you're devoted to, you apply by voting, by registering, and I guess that means the vote means associated in the meaning and form with devout and possibly developed from earlier. Well, devoted, dedicated, faithful, right? About 1449, the forms being earlier variants. Okay, so we get down here, right above where it says devotion, it says dedicate by a vow. Oh, so if you register, right, matters is substance. I'm just mixing the order up here. Substance, the substance of the subject of concern in the discussion that you may have never had was that you were dedicated by a vow. You mean like marriage? Is that like a vow? Is that what y'all call marriage? Y'all have vows to give? So you married something? Well, wait, marriage is like marrying is like on a contract. So so there's a does that mean that there's a contract that we didn't discuss that you agreed to by your registering yourself in a certain way? Somehow you become a possession. This will make your brain sweat. So what else I got over here? Let me go back to this, because let me read the rest of this here. Let's see what else is in this. This is amazing. Literally, because amaze means to confuse. So a territory or possession. All right, so the United States consents to the taxation. So to be the United States, and states is highlighted, you have to be, the term state hides any territory or possession of the United States. So any of those territories or possessions consents to the taxation of pay or compensation for personal service as an officer or employee of the United States, a territory or possession or political subdivision thereof, the government of the District of Columbia, or an agency or instrumentality of one or more of the foregoing, by a duly constituted taxing authority having jurisdiction, if the taxation does not discriminate against the officer or employee because of the source of the pay or compensation. So, you know, that's kind of interesting. And then it talks about something about the treatment of certain federal employees employed at a federal hydraulic facility located on the Columbia River. But it says a couple things there. It says states over and over again, and we just went over how different that is from what they taught us. But I get down here to number 3, and then it's like talking about portions of which are within the states of Oregon and Washington. And then somebody out there is gonna be like, See, they're talking about the states. But the way this reads, I'm not sure. I'm not certain. Because it's telling me that the states are islands. And Oregon and Washington ain't an island. Oh. Maybe. Maybe there are possessions of the United States in the area that we consider Oregon and Washington. So that would, does that mean that like, okay, hold on. So this hydroelectric facility on the Columbia River, I guess it straddles Oregon and Washington. So if that property is a possession of the United States, that itself we should be calling a state of the United States, because the word state, is this what it is? Am I saying this right? The term state includes any territory or possession of the United States. So does this mean that the state includes all the possessions of the United States in the state of Oregon or Washington, which is not the United States, like it says here? U.S. territories are islands under the jurisdiction of the United States, which are not states of the United States. So when I did the video on Exodus 21:20-21, and it said the owner of property basically may do what it wants with the property. Basically, that's like another word for possession. So then we can actually become a possession of the United States by matters being recorded, which the substance, there's concern, there's concern based off the substance of the subject that we should have been discussing, and somehow we dedicated by a vow, and you might have become a possession of the United States. Huh. I mean, because then that might mean that with everything that's going on today, it might have just been easier to sit down and read. Reading Rainbow. I can see twice as high. Something like that. So, this is really interesting stuff. I mean, I got questions. I just got questions. Maybe you could let me know what you think in the comments. Because then it says, like, the consent of Congress is hereby given to any 2 or more states to enter into agreements or compacts for cooperative effort and mutual assistance in the prevention of crime and in the enforcement of their respective criminal laws and policies. I mean, why we gotta have laws and policies? I thought, because everybody I talk to be trying to tell me that they're just laws, and we're got new laws and this law, but somebody told me there ain't been no new laws since the 30s. So maybe this is trying to say something about that. But let me get back to it. So the consent of Congress is hereby given to any two or more states, which could be states that we think about, but then again it could be the United States, which is apparently maybe something that we didn't know about. And then maybe they have so it's saying they can enter into agreements or compacts for cooperative effort and mutual assistance in the prevention of crime and in the enforcement of their respective criminal laws and policies, and to establish such agencies, joint or otherwise, as they may deem desirable for making effective such agreements and compacts. Now this is where it gets tricky. B, for the purpose of this section, the term states means the several states. And then they're going to slide in like, and Alaska and Hawaii. Because technically that's a true statement if they're still using the word states as the term state includes any territory or possession of the United States. And then they go and slide in and Alaska and Hawaii. And it kind of sounds like they want me to think about the continent. But I think that might be like part of the riddle, where the states really mean the territories or islands under the jurisdiction of the United States, which are not states of the United States. But it was just talking about how the two different kinds of states, or two or more different states or kind of states, can enter into so this is why we got like, international agencies. They're just like multiple states coming together to do something about crime and money. So, I mean, y'all, I'm gonna need some of y'all to help me figure this out. Because I mean, maybe instead of running around town, and I'm not putting my finger up or down to the action, but what would have happened if we all read this last 2 weeks? I mean, y'all might be able to have some answers for me. I just, I'm curious. Virgos are naturally curious. A lot of people are. But this right here is tricky, cause it's saying it's like my songs where it's saying 3, 4, 5 things in every line, and you gotta figure out what means what to you. Huh. This is like songwriting. At least good songwriting anyway. Huh. So, for the purpose of this section, the term state means the several states and Alaska, Hawaii, but then it switches up. It's like it almost like, see, a lot of people don't understand in music that when you switch up rhythm, you actually can talk about something else. They don't know what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Some people do. So they switched up here, and the commas changed because now they're saying the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. Now, are they meaning the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico and all that follows? Or are they trying to just isolate it and say the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico? I don't know. You gotta let me know. Because they're saying, for the purpose of whatever section this is, the term states mean the several states and Alaska. Because it kind of just don't even make sense. Why would they say the several states and Alaska, Hawaii, if Alaska and Hawaii are part of the states that we know as the United States? It's like double talk. It's like saying one. It's like counting you twice in something. Let me know what you think. I need to know what you think. The Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and the District of Columbia. Confiscation. Together, public treasury. Together, public treasury. Two or more states to enter into agreements or compacts for cooperative effort and mutual assistance. I see why y'all be putting me out the group. This shit's like out there. But see, you never put me out because I never joined. Because I don't have an authority in the flesh, right? Authority is supposed to be in a book or the quotations, but somehow I need y'all to tell me what state is, man. Term state includes territory or possession of the United States. So it kind of sounds like if you register your car, you're giving possession of it to someone else. If you register your business, are you giving it possession to someone or something else? If you register to vote, can you be confiscated? This is crazy. This is crazy talk. And then they're saying that the U.S. is islands, and I'm looking at a continent. They do the cannonball run, and it's like from New York to California. That's not an island. I don't understand. I don't understand, but look, I want to see what these cards say. Cause if this ain't if this wordplay ain't magic, I don't know what it is. Cause I feel like we could have been reading last week and we might have fucking discovered something great. All right, so it's 9-13, so that's 4, 9, 13 is 4. All right, let me get this real quick. Shout out to all the people grabbing up and supporting this channel. If you want a personal tarot reading, appreciate your donations. You can just hit me up on the social, and you can use this Cash App. Just supply your donations. Some people give 25. Some people donate 100. But they all walk away, and a lot of them are telling me it's therapeutic. So that the early on, I had a few people telling me it was more like therapy, and I kind of just, used that as my description words. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's really enjoy themselves, and the energy is amazing. So hit me up if you want. I'll be happy to help. So, all right. So it was four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. Take a look at that. So the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is the Lord of pleasure, memories, and nostalgia. So events is meeting old friends, meeting with old friends, transience of something, transience of something. Well, we done talked about transience of a lot of things, like what these words mean, what they really could be saying, who's your authority. It's a lot of stuff. So the business is help that comes from the past, from old friends, beginning of stability and good income rise. You see, this is why I like energy a lot, because this is help that's coming from the past. Now, as confusing as this may be, this, if you go back and look at the authority video, authority being a book or quote that satisfies the question or decides the question. This quote, the term state includes any territory or possession of the United States. It's help that's coming from the past, because I was asking, what can I do to help with the situation? So what I found is that help that comes from the past, from old friends. See, you know how your friends be talking to you, but they around other people and they trying to tell you something that they don't want everybody around you to exactly know exactly what you talk about. They call it a code. The term state includes, or better yet, the term state conceals or hides any territory or possession of the United States, which are not states of the United States. See, that was help from the past, from old friends who were at the beginning of stability and good income and want you, like Uncle Sam, but they want you to rise. Y'all too busy playing. Everybody that might be, if they not out there with y'all doing something crazy right now, you feel like they ain't trying to help you. Reading Rainbow. Like, could it really be this simple? That all you have to do is spend a couple hours a day reading? I don't know. But you see my etymology dictionary is tore the fuck up. That's how many times I be opening this motherfucker. Look at that shit. I almost lost my cover. I ain't even had time to tape it because I'm always in it. What? Trying to take over the group? For what? Trying to help the group help themselves. You can't be emotional when you read this. You have to be curious. So the business of this is help that comes from the past, from old friends who were I'm going to just put words in it, who were at the beginning of stability and good income, want you to rise, and they might have just left us some weird ass code to figure the fuck out. Now I know sometimes when we were younger, they would make us do some work we ain't want to do, and we get frustrated, and we just want to tear some shit up, throw the papers off the desk, walk out of class, whatever. And I'm not saying there's not a life for those individuals who are going to have recorded matters or have matters recorded where they might have been concerned about the substance of the subjects. They might have wanted to discuss it. They may not have realized they dedicated by a vow that they were a possession of something far different and far away. I don't know, I'm just saying. Reading Rainbow. So, as far as relationships, it's long lasting. Relationship from the school bench. Yeah, I'm noticing these same cards come up in similar situations. So, relationship from the school bench. See, this is long lasting. This code has been left for you a long time ago. We just gotta figure it out. That might require you feeling like you at the school bench, or it might be so old that it's like this is from, what it say, help that comes from the past. Gentle, friendly love. What we gotta argue for when the authority is right in front of you? What's the argument? What's the debate? Why are you asking what to do if the authority you follow cares about you? I ain't gonna say it like that. I ain't gonna say it like that. If your authority ain't giving you authority, then what they're doing is taking possession of you. If your authority in your groups is filtering the information, if they're censoring you guys get on the internet and talk about China treating their people wrong because they censoring their whole internet, and then you try to get a group and censor and filter the information that comes through to them. Inshallah. Because you want to be seen as the authority. And what have your authorization done for your people? Because when someone gives them a code, they get frustrated and they start wanting to turn their backs, run, and or go forward somewhere else and whatever. So what's the benefit of devoting to or applying for your authority when all it's done is keep leading them in circles that leads off a cliff, and then they come crying for help from someone or something, even if it sounds like a demand. So, long-lasting relationship from the school bench, gentle, friendly love, strong marriage as a rule. Strong marriage as a rule. What did it say? Dedicated by a vow. Strong marriage as a rule. But no passion. See? When you decipher a code, see, because the word passion means suffer. That's why they call the movie The Passion of Christ. So, I guess, like the energy is saying, that once you decipher the code, you won't have any passion. It's very nice meeting with old friends. I'll be there for you. Ooh. So, health. Let's button this up and get up off of here. So, health is good in general, bad if there are complications after diseases in the childhood. Psychology is characteristics young in the soul, little bit naive, infantile. And you know, when you get a lawyer, I'll put out heard. When you get a lawyer, you're actually being deemed incompetent of handling your own affairs. So it's been said. And that's why you can't speak in court. It's like when you tell your children, shut the fuck up, stay out of grown folks' business. What they say? Good in general, bad if there are complications after diseases in the childhood. Psychological characteristics are young in the soul, little bit naive, infantile. Maybe we just need to read a little more. Maybe all these distractions from whatever to whatever is keeping you from learning how to code. Ain't that what they put together to make programs in your PlayStation, on your computer? Isn't it code that allows it to work properly? And when it's broken, when you take something that's broken that has code in it, they don't start tearing shit up. They go inside and start to look at the code to see where it's working and not working. Advice: ask friends for help. Ones whom you haven't seen for a long time. You know, like the ones you didn't want to be a part of your group because you felt like they were trying to take over, because you thought someone might like them more than you because you were kicking some true base fact shit and they were talking about some emotional shit all the time, and they were wondering why the connection, even though it was emotional, wasn't as strong as people's desire to want to know the truth. Because the truth can't be won or lost. Maybe you need to hit up those red pill people because they really tired of hearing and seeing all these questions about what we supposed to do, because they've been trying to tell y'all for the last 15, 20 years. And because they're spending so much time trying to get you up off the ground, what it say, trying to help you rise, they might not have been putting in as much additional study that they could have been putting in for themselves, because and helping themselves rise even that much further, because they wanted to not leave you behind, like George Bush, no child left behind. Warning: do not fall into nostalgia. Do not live in memories. See, get off of what you believe. You gotta have to go to Facebook YNet7 and watch the conscious video, because I don't know if it's gonna wind up here if you're on YouTube. But go to Facebook and watch it. Don't live in the memories of what you think you know. That's your beliefs. You got to move forward with the code. The result is you will have to look at your past. You're going to have to look at your past because this came from the past, your past too. And you're going to have to look at your past to see how you wound up becoming a possession of the United States. Because if you are a possession of the United States, then the United States, by law, can do whatever it wants with its possessions. It's Pasha Pyro, YNS7. Thank you for tuning. The replay.
A whole 100 gallons. Sweat. I'm Pompeii on pump 8. No Tesla, that's gasoline. I want 100 gallons. A whole 100 gallons. Sweat. Those toe touches in the club dumpers. No keys start the shit. Yo, Benz, come on. Aftershocks, moon rocks and lobster omelets. The earthquakes every time I come. Shoulder range, I'm Haley's Comet. Wearing the ice age, it's just a deposit. This tip won't fit in the jar. You gotta wiggle, dip in your ice melt room temperature. Skies grow dim, volcanic winter. It's pretty bizarre. Continentals drifting apart. Eyes met while you sing, I pour. Simmer in a night in the year, no summer. You gotta let the lava flow for a minute with this one.